community in Shin-Okubo. Why are we interested in foreign communities? There are two reasons. The first reason is foreign communities, we always find something new. For example, in Korean community, we always try to eat Korean food. The second reason, in foreign community is exotic. When you visit there, you can feel as if you are not in Japan. Then we have quite a few communities around Tokyo. Chinese community in Yokohama, Korean community in Shin-Okubo, Peruvian community in Kawasaki, Burmese community in Takada-no-Baba. As we wonder how these communities are formed in Japan. Why was foreign communities formed? Well, past study have pointed out four factors. One, religion. Second, language. Third, culture. Four, inexpensive housing. One, religion. A Buddhist monk built in a temple in Takada-no-Baba, and then Burmese people started to gather around Takada-no-Baba. Second, language. If you can speak Japanese, you want to be close to the person who can speak your language. Third, culture. For example, in Chinese community, there are a lot of Chinese tea shop, Chinese restaurant, and held in Chinese festival. One of the factors of to gather is culture. Four, inexpensive housing. You want to save your money, always try to find inexpensive place to stay. All past studies pointed out densely populated areas. Look at these pictures. Foreigners live in together very closely. They form small town.
However, densely populated foreign community is not only possibility that we can find in Japan. We also find sparsely populated foreign community in Japan. In this community, people do not live together. In fact, they are scattered around. But they get together when they have occasions such as church services and community activities. Now, let me give you an example. Look at this map. This is sparse community of Filipino in Hachioji City. And you may know that over 90% of Filipino believe in Christianity. Even they live in Japan, they go to church every Sunday morning to attend the church services. So we assume that they must have a dense community around this church. But if you look at this map, that is a Filipino restaurant, Filipino bar, and Filipino pub. And these restaurants are separated from few blocks. So there's no dense community. And in the end, we have two types of different community. One is dense community, and the other is sparse community. And this example led us to following question. First question, why is sparse community formed? And second is, what are the factors that differentiate dense community from sparse community? And next I'm going to talk about our case and method. Our case is Filipino communities, and we have two communities. One is Filipino community in Hachioji City, and the other is Filipino community in Tachikawa City. And our method is this. We interviewed 3 Filipinos, and our question is this. How was the community formed, and why do people get together here, and so on? And our first interview is this lady called Vera, and she's Filipino. She has a Japanese husband and her daughters, and she lived in Japan for 20 years. And we asked her the question, how is community home? Her answer to this question is, in 2000, the church service in English started, and 2006, the study of the Bible group started, and after 2007, more and more people were coming to this church to attend the church services and to study group. Next, we asked her the question, why do people get together here? Her answer to this question is, she goes to church because she believes in Christianity. And she has been looking for the church service in English when she came to Japan. And for parents, this is a good place to make their children's friends. So, from her interview, we found that religion has something to do with community formation. Next, our interview is Ian, and he's Filipino, and he's our university student. And we asked him the question, how was the community developed? His answer to this question is, in 2010, he came to this church for the first time. And at that time, he saw over 100 past attendants. And almost of the attendants coming from neighboring city like Fuzhou City or Tachikawa City. And the majority of attendants were young. And next, we asked him the question, why do people get together here? His answer to this question is, going to church is his one of lifestyle, and he has been supporting the church service in English as a translator for a long time. And this is a home for him. Our final interview is Mary, and she is Filipino. She has a Japanese husband and her sons. And she lives in Kanagawa Prefecture, and it takes 1.5 hours from Kanagawa Prefecture to come to Tachikawa City. So she came to the church from far away. We asked her the question, how was the community formed? Her answer to this question is, in 1990, she came to this church for the first time because her friend told it to her. And there are few people at that time, but now they have over 80 people. And next, we asked her the question, why do you come to this church? Her answer to this question is, she comes to church because she has a lot of friends in this church, and her sister is also coming to this church. And she has been supporting this church service for a long time, and the place is fun for her. Next, let's go back to our question again. Our first question is, why is sparse community formed? And second is, what are the factors that differentiate densely community from sparse community? Our first answer is, friendship feels like a home and strong religiosity. And next, second answer is this. Look at this. This is a comparison between sparse community and dense community. And we pointed out there are 4 factors of dense community to be formed. That is religion, language, culture, and inexpensive housing. Now we were researching about sparse community, and there are 3 factors of sparse community to be formed. That is, friendship feels like a home and strong religiosity. And both sparse community and dense community have the same factor. That is religion. So religion has something to do with community formation. And in our research, both friendship and feeling of it being like a home are strong factors to leading of feeling proximity and personal satisfaction. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. comments and questions. Okay.
私はね、日本持っていいですか？いい。はい。なので、このパーで、なんか日本持って投票できれば最高ありと思います。それでは、私は日本持って話いいですか？はい。みんなが日本人が多いですから。それではね、私の願いでは、人口過疎地区には外国人が集めて多くて集めていて、それってなんか宗教とか文化とか家族とかトレーナーによって集めていて、それと逆に人口過密地区には例えばね新宿とかそこに外国人がいっぱい住んでいますから、でもね集め無理です。そうですか。私はなんか理解ではそうと思います。そうですか。
その都会集中、
はい、
人口過密地域には外国人は住んでいないってことですか？
うん。
Okay, before you answer the question, please translate it.
就是我想去问他，在我的理解当中，就是人口的过疏地区或者是过密地区，就是人口过疏地区，它就会外国人很多，他就会因为宗教啊、文化啊、语言呐、或者家族啊，它会集中在一起。但它过密地区，其实外国人也很多，对不对？但是那比如说像日本的新宿，它就是外国人也很多，但是它的量特别大。但是它可能不会因为宗教，不会因为这些东西而集中在一起。那么这个是为什么？为什么这样一个原因？
Okay, we got it. Please, you can speak in Japanese.
日本語だね。英語でいいですよ。
私たちが初めに出した先行研究で高田馬場っていうところがあるんですけど、そこは、東京の23区内で結構都会の方なんですよ。だから都会にもその外国人の集まっている場所はあります。
すみません、なんか過密の地区にはなんか外国人が集めて
います。
そう
あります。
新宿
とか。
それではやっぱりなんか原因は宗教とか文化とかなんかはい家族とかそれによって
はいそうですね。先行研究で調べたときに、はい、例えば同じ文化を持った人がいるとか、あとはその電車で来やすいそこの場所で
どんなところでもなんか外国人がいっぱいがあってどんなところでも集めているというですか？
もしそこに何か原因があれば私は集まってくると思います。そこがどんな場所であろうと。これは私の意見です。
就是他认为，就是说他那个不存在人口的过密地区和人口的过疏地区的差异，就是说他认为在过密地区，他也会外国人，他也会就是因为宗教，因为这些东西而集中在新宿也是这样。然后这是他认为他的研究，他的观点就是这样。
其他人。英语不说汉语话。
不要。
过来把英语片一边编一下。I don't. May I?
Okay.
Do you have many foreign communities in Shanghai?
Yes. Also we have Japanese town, Korean town, and other foreign communities in Shanghai. There are about 50,000 Japanese. 50,000. That is in Hongqiao area, and it's Hubei, something like that.
Are they sort of like densely populated communities or sparsely populated communities?
That's a good question. Okay. The first. And also there are many Koreans gathering there, many Japanese and Korean people.
I am confused about one thing. Is that we found, I'm not sure about Japan, but like I lived in Britain for a few years. So we noticed that in Shanghai, although we also have the foreigners communities forming in a certain way, and also in Britain, in the United States, we find these kind of communities. But an interesting phenomenon is that foreigners from certain source nations tend to form their communities, whereas foreigners from other nations tend to be the Western societies, and they tend to be more scattered. Is there any particular reason, according to your understanding, or is it because that the population has not reached a certain point, or is there any cultural impact in this? We tend to find Japanese, Filipinos, Chinese, Koreans, but not like the white people. I'm just curious about this.
Yeah, and I visited Chinatown in Yokohama at least twice. That's very big. Yeah.
So I was with you at least one of the two times.
And I want to say something related to the Japanese community in Shanghai and the Korean community in Shanghai. Historically speaking, that's related to policy. Since before 1980s, China hasn't began the opening policy. It's closed to foreigner. But after 1980s, for example, in Shanghai, the government decided to open area to foreigners to resident there. So Hongqiao is the first place. So you know, many Japanese, Korean, they come here and resident there. So here, there are many foreign community in Hongqiao. That's another reason. That's related to this.
Let me translate that into Japanese. メンチェ彼女の質問は、ある国から来た人はそのフォーリンコミュニティを形成するけども、でもその他の国から来た人はフォーリンコミュニティを形成しないと。で、その理由は何なのかっていう、あなた方の理解から教えてください。で、例えばその韓国人とか日本人とか中国人はその一緒に集まってするように見えることも、特にその西洋諸国から来た人たちはあまりそういうのを思わないので、違いは何だろう、あなたが。で、それでに関して、上海のコメントは、これはその上海では政策が関係していると、つまり、その政府がその外国に住むことを OK と言ったときには、それからその収入が始まったというふうに。
And one more thing I want to say, our survey center conducted survey several years ago. 3
years ago.
Yes, 3 years ago. Foreign residents study in Shanghai. Yeah, so we know those, foreign residents in Shanghai get many data. We know something very clear. Yes. And also, 2 years ago, we started our comparative study, Shanghai, Seoul, and Tokyo. There's one change for
one of the chapters actually.
Yes, quite involved in that. So we also know something related to foreigners living in Tokyo and Seoul. Yes. Maybe you can plan the progress.
わかりました。ちょっと簡単に言うと、3年くらい前にその外国人のコミュニティについて社会調査をしたそれからデータがたくさんある。こういうことでさっきのメンチの質問
think your point of view is very interesting, but now we have I'm not sure there's some Western community, so I'm gonna research next. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Very good. Thank you. So now let's move our last group. University students and university students are volunteers.
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Ayaka Mori. I'm from Chuo University and I major in Japanese literature. Today, we are going to our research. We do research volunteer. Our group member, 3 out of 4 members do volunteer work. I belong to disaster volunteer. I go to disaster area, spring or summer vacation, and I support community formation.
Hi, I'm Takumi. I'm sophomore. My major in French studies. I often got coordinates. I also got coordinates of famous places such as Asakusa, Imperial Palace, or Main Shrine. Nice to meet you.
Hello, my name is Yumi Onuma. Actually, I don't belong to the volunteer group, but I interesting in the volunteer. Nice to meet you.
Hello, my name is Nanako Nakamoto. I'm sophomore at Chuo University. I belong to the same group as Takumi, and I sometimes work as a tour guide as a volunteer. It's very nice to meet you.
By the way, what is volunteer? We think volunteer has 3 elements. First, voluntary. It means volunteer has voluntary will. Second, social. It means volunteer contributes to other people. Third, no monetary rewards. It means volunteer workers don't ask for return. Those 3 elements is basis for volunteer work. Recently, the number of volunteer workers have increased in Japan. Look at left graph. This graph shows the number of volunteer workers between 2006 and 2011. The number of volunteer workers have suddenly increased for 5 years. The total number of volunteer workers it is about 1 million in 2006, but the number in 2011, it is over 4 million. Look at right-hand side graph. This graph shows the number of volunteer workers by age group between 2006 and 2011. Blue line shows the number in 2006 and orange line shows the number in 2011. All age groups have increased interest in volunteer work for 5 years. For example, age group 2015 to 19. 2006 research 1%, but 2011 research 3%, and age group 14 to 44. The number in 2006, 1.3%, but the number in 2011, 5.6%. However, disaster volunteers have serious problems. As time goes by, the number of volunteer workers have decreased. Look at the left-hand side graph. This graph shows the change in the number of volunteer workers from March 2011 to March 2014. Iwate is this one, Miyagi and this one, and Fukushima and this one. Miyagi, 岩手、宮城、福島プリフェクチャー建設 in 東北、ジャパン東北エリア。March 11, 2011, big earthquake occurred in Japan, Tohoku area. It is called Great East Japan Earthquake. Tsunami saw big wave hit by coastal city and destroyed buildings and carried away people. Those three prefectures suffered catastrophic damage by Great East Japan earthquake. And July 2011, for 140,000 people joined volunteer work. But 6 months later, September 2011, volunteer workers suddenly dropped sharply. And 1 year later, March 2012, only 30,000 people. To make matters worse, it isn't increased. But small number of people has continued volunteer work. This data is January 2018. 1,600 people continue working as a volunteer in Tohoku area. They respond disaster area needs and change volunteer style. 2011, they remove rats and broken house and provide food and supplies. But today, they plan and hold exchange meeting and they support learning for children. Today, community formation is most important program for disaster area. So we have a question. So why one people quit volunteer and another people continue working as volunteer? What is what's the cause of difference?